Welcome to episode 44 of Inane Blather. Yes. The what most people in any crowd would always refer to as... That's a little loud.
That's how we're commonly known, yeah. It's what our fans call us all the time everywhere we go.
Inane Blather, a.k.a.
Dead Air.
And your favorite podcast. No, Inane Blather, exactly what it sounds like, and brought to you by two well-known...
headstrong, stubborn, quibbling, self-centered, vindictive, obnoxious, hormonal, sexually preoccupied, evil, thieving, cross-dressing jerks.
I was messing with the volume levels and all the soundboard things before we started, and I really screwed it up.
I was going to say it's run by two head-bonked individuals.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're pretty into this, buddy.
But yeah, it is run by
head bonked individuals.
And that's why the show is
not good.
So
nice. I was thinking about that sound drop that you have that's like a hammer, like thonk, like hitting like that, or like a Three Stooges hammer.
I have a sound
that would
drop
be
like
two
that?
head bonked individuals.
Oh, yes. Maybe I could add that on so we can instead of just eventually I'll just have a full soundboard of RM Brown, so he's just conversing with us throughout the show.
Actually, he'll just be conversing with himself. We won't do any talking anymore. It'll just be all soundboard of RM Brown clips.
That's what I wanted to. I wanted to make a soundboard of a bunch of things he said, and then call into the live show on Discord and start speaking it back to him. Which I thought would be kind of funny. And you know what else is funny? When he read our latest comment on the behind-the-scenes comments, generally speaking show, he, because he remembered the name from last time, and I had just, and plus... all it was, because I couldn't think of anything to ask, I was like, hey, we're still riding the high of you shouting us out on the last episode. It was really great and motivating. Thank you. And he's like, oh, yeah, the Inane Blather podcast, right? Because it just says Inane Blather. He's like, I was supposed to go on a podcast, and kind of trailed off. He was thinking that maybe it was ours.
You're like, yes.
And then he looked into his calendar.
Yeah,
and he was like, yeah, this is really great to be doing on the show. Let's see. Well, nope, never mind. I was thinking of something else and just moved on.
Did you say we'd love to have you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, all of our multitudes of listeners.
Hey, every listener counts. RM Brown would be glad to have Zach and Emily and Vanita.
I don't think all of our listeners can count. I think most of our listeners are
head-bonked individuals.
Yeah, exactly.
We say that because we love you.
Yeah. And he would get that real big time Inane Blather bump and would just be like,
that was a really nice one. Thanks, Inane Blather.
That's the end of his conversation with us. So is there anything
in his best interest
that you wanted to talk about? I mean, I've got some things here. I don't have anything to read like I usually would. But
we were just talking before this about well, for one thing, we sometimes talk about the weather, but today it's been really, really unseasonably hot here. It should be like in the 50s or 60s or whatever, and rainy. We should be getting like, those kind of days with some really nice spring days in between. It was like 80, supposed to be like 88 degrees or something like that today. It's insane. This is like July weather. It's it's no rain is going to be, what a nightmare it's going to be this summer. It was hot. And people were grumpy, and I had to work today on a Monday, and can't say I like the vibe.
No, sir, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
No, sir, I didn't like it.
No, it was just a hot, sunny, warm day, like just very unseasonable. Nobody has air conditioning around here, or at least not set up yet. It's like we shouldn't be using this at all. You should just be able to like pop your window open, and it's like a beautiful day, or like kind of cool, and rainy.
I've been sleeping out in the studio the last 3 nights because I didn't have my air conditioners in my house, and it was just like, I mean, it wouldn't be too bad until like yesterday. I was like, no, it's too warm. And I don't feel like messing with anything.
It's only
I'm just going to
May.
go.
I don't want to suffer through this for like 6 months.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just put an air conditioner in the window today, luckily, because it was in the it was about 90 today or something like that. But yeah, I felt like a complete moron. I felt like one of those
head bonked individuals
because I started moving some stuff around in my garage, put away the radiators, oil heaters that I'd have in the house during the winter. They've just been sitting there, not turned on. And I've had the air conditioner going in the garage for a little while, just a nice little space. And then as I moved some of the stuff around, I realized that that garage heater has just been sitting there on low for like, and I was like, no fucking wonder. I was like, God, because sometimes like, it's just, this is all insulated so well. Why is it warmer than I would expect in here? And I realized it's like, this has been on. It's been on.
Oh my
wasting
God.
my money,
Good thing
heating
you
the
found
garage. I was like, for a little while, I was like, God damn, this Mac Pro is really warming up the room, because it can get pretty warm if it's just running and running. It can make a little bit of a difference.
Sure, of course.
But
yeah.
like, no wonder. God, I was so excited to have my low energy bill too coming up because I haven't been running any heaters, nothing. Just have the windows open at night.
Well,
and
now
I'm
even
like,
more so. They're going to owe you money for your electricity bill.
Yeah, I'm just going to tell them the story about how I accidentally left a heater on and probably almost burned down my garage.
And you're like, yeah, I'm an environmentalist.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe in a little thing called man-made climate change. Ever heard of it? Like, yeah, you live in Washington. It's literally, you buy literally 100% renewable energy when you have electricity. I think there's some natural gas, but it's like,
there is.
It's like 5%
There's most of it's
of our-
hydropower,
yeah.
and then there's nuclear power, and there's natural gas, but a lot of hydro for sure.
They've been known to.
Anyways,
yeah, yeah, and I like the environment because
I love Karl Marx.
yeah.
nice. Wait, we were talking right before we started recording about a sort of a timely topic again about
Yeah,
is his
that's
name
working out so
Jordan
well.
Neely. Yeah, Jordan Neely, who was murdered on the subway.
Yeah.
And the right wing reaction to that, and how, let's say,
It's just gross.
disappointing it is.
Well, it's not even
Yeah.
that. Like,
It's
how
so
can you
fucking
be
gross.
How can you
It's
be
so
more
fucking gross.
disappointed in these people? I don't know, but especially like kind of a barometer of it. Even though Tim Pool, is just a right winger, and he'll never admit it. But he just everything aligns with either right wing ideology now, or and when it's not that, it's like it's just the GOP take, or any sort of electoral politics goes with the GOP. But still,
It's because he's fucking stupid. That's why.
he is. But I see him as like this barometer based on what he'll say, like the actual stances he'll make, because he's such a fence sitter, as he's well known to be, or took pride in being, even though he isn't really a fence sitter, but that's his aesthetic. And so it really strikes me when he takes these harder stances. And over the past year or something like that, it just feels like, yeah, that's what's on these people's fucking minds. They don't have these strong opinions on like infrastructure bills or taxation in general, or I don't know, even the war in Ukraine. No matter how much they
Anything
talk
of
about
substance,
it,
you mean?
well, I mean, and they'll talk about it, but and maybe it's just me, maybe it's just how I interpret it, but they seem a lot more
Tim Pool's
passionate.
a little too cerebral for you.
No, I just mean they seem to be more passionate in their opinions on like policing, Black Lives Matter, homelessness, things like that. And it's really gross. Like, out of all things, it's just feels way more fascistic in a way.
And racist.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, Tim Pool, is really on the whole Jordan Neely deserved it practically kind of thing. Like,
because he was just this, like, maybe an unhoused person, I'm not sure, or someone, I don't know, but he was someone having like
he was
an episode of some kind of like mental health episode, it sounds like, not threatening anyone. It's been stated he was not threatening anyone. It was like I'm sure it was extremely uncomfortable to be on the subway with him. It was like taking his shirt off, talking about he's like screaming, needing food and stuff,
throwing
and like
trash.
really having.
But
for sure,
but
not like he's not like
single
threatening someone saying "I'm going to kill you" or anything like that. Like even the guy who killed him said that he did not threaten him like that. And he then put him in a chokehold for like 15 minutes and killed him.
Yeah,
in front of everybody. Yeah,
and while 2 other people held him down, and. And now that he's finally, now they finally go to charge him for manslaughter, which at the least, like, even if you're on the side of like cleansing the homeless from the population, like Matt Walsh or something, you got to at least recognize that, you're not going to trial for murder here, but you killed a person. That's what manslaughter charges are for. You know, I mean, when you didn't purposefully do it. I mean, we know. You know, we went to school. My best friend was killed in high school and from someone punching him, and then he landed and hit the concrete wrong and went into a coma and died. And he went to jail for a short time for manslaughter, which is exactly what it was. I mean, he didn't want to kill him, but I mean, he meant to cause him harm. You know, just like, and the whole, either way, Tim Pool, just the way that they're defending it is really
like
what's
he doesn't need to be charged
out.
with anything.
Yeah, exactly. Like saying that.
My God.
Oh yeah, no. They these right now. They're really treating him. He's the next Kyle Rittenhouse. He really is. He's being seen as a hero by some people. And Tim Pool...
For choking someone to death.
His argument was literally saying that they never called Jordan Neely a victim. He was saying that the people on the train feeling threatened by this person having a mental episode, those were victims. He was helping victims by incapacitating this man. He didn't mean to kill him, which... I don't know. You don't know that. That's for sure, because he choked him for 15 minutes. But it's like, these people are not victims. And knowing way more than I would about life in New York City, like Emma Vigeland, anyone who's interested in it, go and watch any of the recent Majority Report videos about this situation. And Emma Vigeland has been really vocal about it, and online too, on Twitter. But it's like she's like had a very uncomfortable, been like physically what would technically be assault, you know, by someone having a mental episode on the train and stuff. And she's still like, I mean, you live in fucking New York City. The whole problem is that all these people think that it's like, it's unfortunate that you have to deal with someone that's having a mental episode or someone who's unhoused. But those people are the victims. You are not.
Yeah.
And it's all these, what they call bridge and tunnel people that are going into town, just like this fucking guy who they say he doesn't live in the city. He's from Long Island. And, they come in and they expect, they feel like it's on them to be like cleaning the streets. Like, oh God, you guys live in this hellhole. It's like, no, like we live here. Sure. It is a bad thing that people are out here, beating off and having mental episodes on the train because they're unhoused and smoking crack. That's why they're victims. But it's like, it's unfortunate that we're all dealing with that. The most unfortunate part is that person is dealing with this. That person who is having a horrible life right in front of you. I don't know. There's just so much. I mean,
when I was at a rally for abortion rights, so it's like all these leftists or whatever you want to say.
I only go to rallies for abortion wrongs. I like botched abortions. That's the name of my band.
That's what my mom lovingly calls me. Yeah. It was at a park, and there was a bathroom, a public restroom, and it was only one well, whatever. One of them you couldn't get into. It was locked. Someone was in there screaming and being like very, like they weren't going to come out. There's a big line. It's people have to use the bathroom. It's a bunch of women here for abortion rights. Needing to use the potty. Yeah. And people were like, this one woman was like yelling through the door, being like, don't disrespect me. I was like, guys, you're not going to get through to this person.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to get some logical connection from like, oh yeah, duh, I guess I will leave here. That is pretty inconvenient that I'm making you guys wait in line.
It's the last thing,
use the other bathroom,
the last shred of their mind that they have right now.
Literally, like, just leave them alone. Like, it was like yelling at them and people were all mad, and I was like, guys, like, this is like someone who doesn't have, we're coming from our homes, wherever we came to, have the ability to come here and like have, like all these high-minded ideals about like human rights and stuff. And you're supposed to be like that kind of person anyways. And you're here like really just hating on this unhoused person having a mental episode when you're the one who's supposed to know all these systemic things that would have led this person to here. And you're just like, leave them alone or try to help them. If you can't help them, at least don't harm them. And screaming at them and telling them that they're wrong and that they're so rude and all this kind of stuff, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah.
What do you think is going to come out of the situation besides you feeling righteous about being rude to a homeless person?
Yeah, and you're not going to feel good about it afterwards. You just won't. It's not going to help you.
I hope not.
I mean, even for like a, some psycho Matt Walsh type, it's like you're not going to feel better about it. That's just what happens when you yell at someone. But at the very least, you're not helping. You're not fixing the problem. It feels like you're contributing by not doing something about it, quote unquote. But still, and on top of that, what gets me is not that it should even matter, but it only is another. It's just even adding to this conversation. You don't have to be unhoused to have a mental episode either.
Oh, for sure.
It isn't just all poor unhoused drug addicts either. I've had a pretty bad public issues before. It can happen to people. Even it could even be like someone who goes into a diabetic episode or something can like be going through psychosis practically. That happens. Like, but inconveniences.
I don't think people treat old people with dementia the same way that they treat homeless people going through episodes.
Right.
There's a lot more compassion extended for that.
If this was a 76-year-old veteran with dementia in his underwear or something, a lot of those people would treat them differently. That fucking guy wouldn't choke him out for 15 minutes. That's for sure. There's no, I sincerely believe that. I mean, it's just a dumb hypothetical, but still, the way that, I don't know, there's just more to it than saying, well, we believe that they should have help anyway. The solution is systemic changes. It's like, like we all understand that at this point, and anyone on the right that doesn't get that we're for that is just being disingenuous, or they're a fucking idiot. So don't talk to them anyway. I suggest, if someone believes that, you choke them for 15 minutes until they figure it out. I felt threatened by their
stupidity.
Yep, okay, thanks.
Ooh, nice.
If someone was just on the train going,
I'd be like, Hassan,
like, come here,
so
BP.
Sexy.
I'll help you.
I can save him. I just think, what is the right's like sort of end goal? Like that you can just kill homeless people?
Oh yeah,
or mental people. Like,
we didn't go over it on the show, but there was that good when Matt Walsh was once again the main character for a couple of days on Twitter. He was literally calling for genociding the homeless population of large cities. He believes that they're a drain on society. and
that they're not people.
Yes.
That they weren't once newborn babies. That's what I want to, you know what I want to talk to Matt Walsh about? Like, you know what? All these homeless people you're talking about, they were once newborn babies. Look me in the eye and tell me not every newborn baby deserves everything.
These were
and if
people
you say anything otherwise,
that weren't aborted, Matt. These are people that were not aborted. Okay? They were carried to term and born. And now they're still human beings. Yeah.
Yeah, don't they have the right to like have a nice life? And he would say, you just got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps or some dumb bearded bullshit. Like
some dumb bearded bullshit. Hey, Mr. Dumbbeard.
Ugh, God. Yeah, it's just a weird, it's like it's a very interesting thing to want for your society is for people to just be able to kill someone in the streets. Like it goes back to like so much of like the United States, like, culture surrounding I feel like cowboys and like the Wild West and like this, you know, like vigilante sort of thing, and like how people are, I don't know, doing the right thing and, you know, taking the law into your own hands and stuff. And all of this has been like a part of the culture for so long, and it's like you feel like a real man, I guess, if you just get to deal out justice, if you're the judge, jury, and executioner, you know. It's
like a real
it's
man.
An interesting thing.
Oh man,
yeah.
Sorry,
to
that
want
just reminded me of to the Sopranos episode I watched the other day. So shout out Umberto. So he'll know exactly what I'm talking about. No,
yeah, they love that show. They love a gabagool, but yeah, it's an interesting thing to want your society in both hands. Like both thoughts they're holding in their heads are that you want law and order and really respect the rule of law, but also you can take the law into your own hands, you know, if you think that it's the right thing to do. So what is it?
What is it? Yeah, exactly.
Fucking stupid F-word bitch.
That's exactly. Yeah.
Black Lives Matter, any sort of things associated with those protests that result in any violence, unjustified. Anything against a storefront, not justified.
Yeah.
Can't take the law into your own hands. If you want to murder someone on a train because they're shouting, hey, sure,
because they're scaring
That's what we
your
want.
fifis. And I get it too. It's like, I mean, I'm a parent. Like, so my first thought is always something like that. It's like, I get it. Like, it can be very uncomfortable, you know, dealing with someone going through something like that. Imagine having your kid with you or something. Now, besides the fact that apparently, I mean, with how it is in the New York transit system, you could just get away. But supposedly you're not supposed to change cars while it's going, but people do it all the time anyway. And because of issues like this, you know, just imagine if someone had just attempted to help Jordan Neely. If someone had just attempted to, like,
if they
talk
were
to
pinning
them.
him down, couldn't they, like, if you need to physically restrain someone, couldn't you just do that instead of literally choking them to death?
Yeah, exactly.
Couldn't you just, like, held him down and, like, called the cops and been, not that that's, like, what I would want the society to do, you know,
the
social workers and all that,
the train police
but
there
there's
or something.
Something you could go to for someone that can actually have some authority over someone else, because people do have bodily autonomy and stuff, and you shouldn't just like hold people down against their will, obviously, but maybe being a danger to people around you, you can kind of make some concessions there and be like, I am trying to help you, trying to make it so you don't hurt yourself, don't hurt other people, get someone here who can help you, maybe take him to a hospital, get someone like that,
even put him in
help.
jail. Like, I hate the prison system, but it's like they'd go to jail. And maybe if he was doing drugs, would get weaned off it for a bit. He would get 3 meals.
Bad options here.
He'd get 3 meals a day. You know, like, good God, like at least something other than being choked to death on a subway car.
Oh my God, America! The options are ignore them, kill them, put them in prison, or take them to the hospital so they can just get let go. There's like no good options. That's so pathetic. What a pathetic excuse for like a society.
And not only just America, but like in the biggest, well, not the biggest city in America is LA, whatever, I don't know, but like a thriving major metro
epicenter of the world.
Yes, exactly.
The Big Apple.
Yeah, the Windy Apple. No, yeah, late January, Matt Walsh. This is what I was thinking of. Some video, someone walking through a homeless area. Not even a tent city doesn't look like, but just a lot of unhoused people hanging around. It's garbage in the street, which I don't know if that's any different than any other place, but he did this whole like really sarcastic thing. That's when over this couple days it says people are scandalized that I advocated harsh punishments for criminals like in Singapore. My critics are right. Much better to be tolerant of drugs and crime so that every American city looks like a post-apocalyptic wasteland. This is working out great. We wouldn't want to execute the people who've turned our cities into a zombie film.
Oh,
that would be mean.
God.
Let's keep them alive so that our communities can be unlivable, disgusting hellscapes. Great plan, guys.
Unlivable for whom? All the people living in fucking houses, you stupid asshole? Unlivable for those people living on the streets,
you know where it would be unlivable?
Heartless motherfucker.
Is if you make them so they're not living anymore because you're executing everyone for being homeless. Yeah, it is pretty...
Oh my God, what a fucking asshole. That's insane. That is so incredibly heartless. And you know what I'm thinking about? These people having mental episodes, especially unhoused people. Like you're saying, it's not only unhoused people, but you know what? You and I suffer with mental or whatever, live with mental health stuff. And you can really feel some moments where seriously, like I want to break my phone, throw it through a window, like snap something over my knee. You really want to like freak out. And imagine if you have nowhere, you have no home, you never get to like close a door to just be alone for like a second. You're like living on the street, people ignoring you or being fucking disgustingly cruel and rude to you, you know, or
on top of the fact that you're just you're having a very unhealthy day-to-day life, you know, you don't get good sleep, you have bad nutrition, you have no medicine.
Of course, you're going to freak the fuck out. And if you're addicted to drugs in any way,
or
have
you're
a drug
going
abuse
to
problem,
become addicted to drugs because your life sucks.
Because what a nightmare. What a fucking nightmare. And like, I'm just thinking about that person in the bathroom. Yeah, it would be nice to shut a door and be in a room, like be inside somewhere and not have people always worried about people coming around the corner or you being in a place you can't be. Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if we just like had a spot like for a fucking second?
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine how people like genuinely, what a horrible, hard, desperate way to live your life. And it's so fucking sad and it's so heartbreaking that people don't feel that way immediately about people that are living on the streets.
Empathy. You know why you feel like that?
It's because you're an honorless, lying little turd.
That's why. So
yeah.
You know what people need to do? We need to get back to it's what I was saying earlier. You don't have to be a crazy homeless vagrant, to use the terms that I like using.
Very PC, Doug.
To have issues like this. They need to get back to, I believe, season 4 of The Simpsons, where Marge finally snaps. Such a great episode, and she just loses it, and just slams her car to a stop, blocking traffic on the Springfield Bridge until everyone, like the news is there. They have to talk her out. The cops are there and stuff like that. Like it's a huge deal. It's this big spectacle, you know, and Homer has to talk her out and then decides to let her go spend a weekend at Rancho Relaxo.
Spoilers? No,
yeah,
just kidding.
Rancho Relaxo, and she can drink margaritas in the tub and watch Troy McClure movies and have some spare time, you know, because she snapped. And it's like, but even just a stupid cartoon, like you watch the lead up and people are like, man, it's so relatable for parents.
You understand exactly why you would
I'm
feel
sure
that
for
way.
many wives and stuff like that, you know, and it's a great episode. It's really funny. I love that episode. Homer and Bart being at home alone is so great. They're just disgusting slobs. It's so gross.
Yeah, poor Lisa.
Yeah, it's like, Dad, do I have to brush my teeth? No, just rinse your mouth out with soda. All right. And they're like making garbage angels and stuff.
Yeah, I wonder how Marge became overwhelmed.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, But when it comes down to it, the episode really is just boring. No. Yeah, so nice. I don't know what is going on with the Jordan Neely case. All I know is that it's been coming up more since a couple days ago. The guy who killed him, was charged with manslaughter.
Because he wasn't initially charged with anything.
No.
Like, it was like a couple days after that.
I mean, it's not up to the cops to charge someone with that.
White girl who got choked to death on a subway, they would absolutely have filed charges fucking immediately, and everyone knows that. Whatever, hypothetical, yeah, right. Anyone in there who has ever spent any time in American news media knows that is absolutely exactly 100% the case. That if it was any different,
you have to
would
go
have been charged
race.
Immediately.
It was just a rich person. Like anyone with any sort of capital at all. For some reason, it would be a lot different. And so just hearing the reactions, I mean, there's like this back and forth. Tim Pool and these guys are like raising money for the guy's defense fund. That's why it's so much like the Rittenhouse thing, and other people, while other good people are contributing and raising money for Jordan Neely's fucking funeral. It's like,
oh my God.
I'm sure that he's going to get off scot-free, whatever. That's what I would guess.
I swear they thought that they could get away with it. And you know what? If people didn't have that on recording, who knows what would have happened. If they didn't have literal video footage of people around, a bunch of it would have been like, let's just sweep this under the rug. They're not people. Yeah. They're not real people.
It doesn't matter at all.
Yeah. Legit, they're like, so who's going to come after us? He's some homeless, he's some bum. Just probably doesn't have any family. They don't fucking care. That's so, man, just the attitude towards people is so inhumane. Treating them.
Yeah.
If someone choked a dog to death on the subway, there would be charges filed fucking immediately.
Yeah. True. Yeah. People do the American people like dogs more than they like
and
homeless
someone
people.
Choked it to death,
wow.
That guy would have got choked to death.
I don't know. Cops kill dogs every day. And
well, this is not cops.
Well, and those same people
they didn't use a gun.
Really don't seem to mind because they love sucking hog dick so much. But
sounds like you're pretty
dick.
Into this. Plan.
Yeah, hog dick, dog dick. So it's
Oh my gosh, it's raining right now! Yay! Oh my gosh, hooray! Praise be to the barometer.
What do I got on here that's not?
That's very important.
I'm just mad about Jordan Neely. Poor guy.
Well, you know what? You want to get mad about something else?
No. You know what I'm mad about is learning that I share a birthday with Jordan fucking Peterson.
I already knew. I'm sorry. I didn't bring it up to you because I did see that and I didn't want to ruin your life with that knowledge. So,
I think it's because I rewatched a Jordan Peterson video again. I rewatched Thought Slime's video on Jordan Peterson from 3 years ago or whatever. Mm-hmm. You know what's funny?
That's where I really knew that Jordan Peterson had some serious mommy and daddy issues. It was so incredibly apparent. The first time I ever heard him talk, I was like, Jesus Christ, and you're a therapist? Oh my God.
He's got a reverse Oedipus complex.
He's the thing that really stuck out to me was when he said, I've had more patients ruined, which is a very interesting thing to say for someone in his position. More patients ruined by selfless mothers than by selfish mothers. And it's like, whoa, your mom must have been something else.
Yeah. She had a real number on you. Yeah. And it probably goes all the way back. That's why he's having dreams about his grandmother's pubic hair stroking against his face like a soft paintbrush.
He seems normal. He seems healthy
out of all
and
things
adjusted.
that the guy is, number one word that comes to mind is normal. Yeah. He's a normal guy. That's why it's really odd that he's so popular with some people. There's nothing notable about the man at all.
Nothing memorable.
They've been known to.
His voice, the amount he cries,
the things he cries
addiction.
about,
being
almost murdered by apple cider, all of that stuff.
Yeah. Normal.
Normal. That's what I was thinking of. That's where I know him from. Garfield and Friends.
Wow. Yeah, that's a deep cut there.
That's why it's not. That's why it's things about his mother, because he has an Oedipus complex, not an Oedipus complex.
I'm trying to think of a joke for John, but dead air.
Well, it's only fitting because we record on Mondays so often, and today is a Monday. Maybe I'll just wait a week to put this out. No. Yeah. And we know what Aaron
Monday
Brown
vibes
says. Nobody likes it, folks. Nobody likes Mondays.
Don't listen to this on a Friday.
That would be
sorry to tell you, like most of the way in. Yeah, because it's not a Friday vibe kind of show.
Yeah.
Boring.
Yeah, if you listen on a Friday, you're a
fucking stupid F-word bitch.
We can't be responsible for setting the tone of like a weekend.
No,
because
that's
you know what
good
it would
advice. Actually, I'll probably I end up putting ones out on Thursdays. I don't know. I need to get a good schedule going here.
Put in the comments what day you'd like us to put it out. And
don't
do exactly what every single one of you say.
I'll just put out an episode every day. Okay, well, let's cut it short.
Wait, I have something that I want you to get really mad about with me.
Okay, because I have another thing lined
to my
up
manifesto.
That's in my notes.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, my manifesto of petty grievances. I'll go to another one to add to the list that I had never thought about before.
I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're going to hear about it.
Yes, thank you.
I
knew
wish I had a
for
better
me.
audio clip than that, but
yeah, well, that is that stupid audience. But so I got this. I was, as you've noticed earlier, was drinking a Coke Zero. I put that box in my fridge, and I went to do the perforations so I could have it open, so I could have one. You know, it's there nicely configured in my fridge.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so I hit the perforations, pull on it, and you know what it does? Where the perforations are also crossing the border of the seams of the box. So then as you pull on this,
oops.
Yes, it takes apart the entire end of the box, and I have Coke cans now rolling at me out of the fridge.
And every single one of them flies out of the fridge and lands on one of your bare toes and just bam!
Yeah, and then also, this is how I became a head-bonked individual, was this petty grievance right here.
You were rolling on the Coke cans that were rolling around the floor, like, whoa,
what?
Whoa, and fell down, then they all started cascading onto your head.
Yes, that exactly. And that's why I don't even know if this is a petty grievance. This seems like a very big safety concern for all the families in America that drink Coke Zero. It's so stupid. I'm like, why did you make it like this? Like, genuinely, do people like try things out before they put them out like on the market?
Do you know why? Because
capitalism is bad.
That's why.
And there it is.
Mr. Benny
we can be done
Shapiro.
with this show. That's the point of all of this. He said it better than we ever could.
Well, shout out Aaron Brown. Shout out everyone in the audience.
Our Lord and Savior.
Tune in.
We love you guys.
Next week or later this week. Tune into the next episode where we will find out exactly why
Natalie hates non-binary people.
So. And
got me.
Yeah, you got me there.
That was a really nice one. Thanks, Inane Blather.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you
anything for you
in a little bit. I love you.
Okay, I love you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.